We have been talking about this since it was announced this past summer, and the day is finally here. January 6th, 2025. It is the debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, which will feature a WrestleMania like card. Jey Uso, Yeet versus the Scottish psychopath himself, Drew McIntyre. We also have Rhea Ripley, Mummy, against the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan in a women's last standing match. We have tribal combat for the Uafawa, the OTC versus Solo Sikoa, and the rivalry of all rivalries, the match that we have been waiting nearly a decade and a half to see, the best in the world versus the Visionary. Now, folks, not only that, but we have the potential of the return of the Final Boss, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and the start of the Eras Tour for Men. You can't see me. Move over Taylor Swift because John Cena is in the house. This has been something that has been anticipated by not only wrestling fans, but people that are outside the industry, as we need to see how this Monday Night Raw transition from linear cable television to streaming full time is going to work. You guys know I was very critical of the NFL porting games on Amazon Prime every Thursday night. Guess what? It's worked. I was even more critical of them taking Christmas Day games away from broadcast television that you could get free over the air with a freaking antenna and put it on streaming. And guess what? The viewership, not only did it not drop, it went up. And now the NBA with their new media rights deal, you have Amazon Prime coming into the mix, aka streaming. When streaming first started, remember it was Netflix, it was a movie rental business. Streaming, I thought and still kind of do think it's meant for documentaries. It's meant to go back and rewatch old content. Maybe some original content these shows are now starting to put out, like Squid Games, for example, which I've never seen, but by the way, but I heard from many people, obviously, that like that genre, that it's a very good show. I never thought in my wildest dreams that streaming would turn into live sports. Yet here we are. And I'm going to tell you something. As much as I am excited for Monday Night Raw to go to Netflix and for this specific show, just because I think it's going to be a huge show, all the eyes are going to be on WWE. And I don't mean Tony Khan and AEW going to Max, because who doesn't give a damn? AEW can't even sell out a bingo hall. I'm talking about the NFL. I'm talking about the NBA. I'm talking about Major League Baseball. Because, in my opinion, let's say, the premiere for Raw is always going to get a big rating. Obviously, it's on Netflix, and I think you do have to take into account now the internationalness of this big time contract and the fact that international fans are going to get to be able to see Raw live every single week on Netflix. Let's say, the opener for Raw, I don't know, gets 5 million viewers on Netflix. Let's say, every week then thereafter, let's say Raw gets close to 5 million, 4.8, 4.9, whatever million. If they're getting that number, which I'm very interested to see how they would calculate that number and, if it's going to be a part of the Nielsen data and all that. If Raw's viewership, what I'm trying to say, is significantly increased, and not just for the first episode, but sustains this significant increase, and there's 10 million or 15 or whatever number, big number you want to throw out there for pro wrestling. That means that cable is gonna die. I'm just being totally real with you. Think about it. If a regular Monday Night Raw show gets, on a great night, the Raw after WrestleMania gets 2.3, 2.4 million viewers. If Netflix on an average basis gets 10 million and an average Raw gets 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8 even without competition on, folks, cable is going to die because the NFL is going to see that. They are going to cut in 10 years. Goodbye, CBS. Goodbye, NBC. Goodbye, Fox. Goodbye, ESPN and ABC. Hello, Netflix. Hello, Amazon. Hello, Peacock. Hello, Disney. Streaming will be the future. But if Raw gets 2.3 million on an average basis as opposed to 1.7, and your bump is only 500 or 600K viewers, then maybe the cord cutting thing is not as big as most people may think it is. Or obviously cord cutting and cable and everything we know is declining. You guys know my belief here, and I've said this again earlier right here in this segment. I think it's good to have broadcast. I think it's good to have cable. I think it's good to have streaming. The NFL now is making you pay for NFL Sunday Ticket with YouTube TV streaming, but also those games are blacked out. So you have to have NBC, ESPN, ABC, CBS. Then you have your Amazon Prime. Then you have your ESPN Plus exclusive games. Then you have your Peacock exclusive games. It really is a little bit of oversaturation. But if this rating for Raw is as huge and if it gets as big as I think it might, changes the whole game. I do think that Jey Uso, for the record, will defeat Drew McIntyre. In my opinion, I think that Rhea Ripley will win the Women's World Championship. They will finally end this feud thing with the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan and Finn Balor will turn on each other. Finn Balor, JD McDonough have already lost the World Tag Team Championships to the War Raiders. I think WWE is about to completely disband the Judgment Day faction after it was originally created by the Rated R Superstar right after WrestleMania 38. I think it's at its 3-year run. It's in its third act now. I think it's sort of losing steam. It really never kickstarted the way the second act of Judgment Day did once Dominic Mysterio got into the group and Finn Balor did, and they kicked out Edge, etc. Um, I think that Becky Lynch will make a return after the match. She will do a stare down with Mommy, with Rhea Ripley. That could be our Royal Rumble match for the Women's World Championship. Becky Lynch wants her championship back. Mommy, the man, one more time. And again, I think Liv Morgan will go on to feud with her Judgment Day stablemates. They will sort of separate from the pack. Maybe Liv Morgan then eventually goes after the Women's Intercontinental Championship strong. We get to the two co-main events, in my opinion. One of them is Tribal Combat for the Uafawa, featuring my tribal chief, the OTC Roman Reigns, versus Solo Sikoa. They said, anything goes, leave your bloodlines in the back. Here we go. Let's have a fight. I think both men will stick true to those words. But at the end of the day, I think Drew McIntyre, who, as I already alluded to, will lose to the Yeet Man himself. I think he interferes. He claymores Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa unfortunately wins. Solo Sikoa and his bloodline go to the blue brand. Roman Reigns and his new bloodline sort of stay on the red brand. They keep the bloodlines away from each other here. Roman Reigns then will transition. And I don't know where we're transitioning yet because we got Cody Rhodes, we got Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble in a ladder match for the Undisputed Championship. I suspect Randy Orton will make his return there. I suspect the American Nightmare will retain the Undisputed Championship. I personally believe the American Nightmare will walk into WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas and main event one of the nights as the world champion. But who is that against? Is that against the tribal chief? Is that against the final boss, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who I already said is advertised to make an appearance in the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles? Will he get involved in the Roman Reigns Solo Sikoa match? That's certainly a possibility. I am still holding out hope because I think all these rumors online of WWE planning WrestleMania 41 without the involvement of the final boss is BS. And maybe it's just art. Maybe it's something I want to believe. I don't know. But I can tell you my heart of hearts, the way I would book it, we would have the final boss, the American Nightmare, the OTC in a triple threat match to main event night 2 of WrestleMania 41. That gets me to, well, move over Taylor Swift. The Eras Tour for men will begin. John Cena will return. Now, I don't believe he will wrestle on the January 6th Monday Night Raw from the Intuit Dome. Pat McAfee's going to be there as well. What a star-studded show. I believe he will make his intentions known. John Cena will be wrestling in the 2025 Royal Rumble match from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana on February 1st. John Cena will make his intentions known. He is going for the record 17-time world champion. I believe John Cena will lose in the Royal Rumble match. He will be eliminated by a heel. You know, an Austin Theory, a Grayson Waller, even Carlito, a Dom, a lower mid card heel. Then he will, in Cleveland, February 3rd, Monday Night Raw, the Raw after the Royal Rumble. I will be there inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. John Cena will declare his intention to enter the Elimination Chamber. He will win his Elimination Chamber qualifying match. He will qualify for the Chamber. He will win the Elimination Chamber. And by doing so, he will challenge the Ring General Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41. Those, I believe, are your night 1, night 2 main events. Now, I've heard rumors about the potential of Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the Undisputed Championship. If that were to happen, I heard the World Championship match would feature the best in the world, CM Punk, who will go one-on-one, and after their verbal sparring of words on the December 30th, the last Monday Night Raw potentially ever on the USA Network, where CM Punk made references to Becky Lynch. Seth Rollins made references to AEW. CM Punk made references to Vince McMahon himself. These two hate each other. Seth Rollins is the ultimate good guy, company guy, suit wearing guy in WWE. CM Punk is the ultimate anti-establishment, tried to burn WWE down for 10 years while he was gone. Seth Rollins feuded with Cody Rhodes. When Cody Rhodes came back from AEW, now he's feuded with CM Punk since CM Punk came back from AEW. I think CM Punk goes over here, go to sleep, clean in the middle of the ring after a fantastic main event. 1, 2, 3. And again, maybe McIntyre gets involved because he has a relationship with Punk and Rollins. Somehow, maybe Punk defeats Gunther at the Rumble for the World Championship. Seth Rollins wins the Elimination Chamber or even the Rumble match himself. Challenges Punk. McIntyre gets involved. I could very well see that. I could see Cody Rhodes against The Rock one-on-one for the Undisputed Championship. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk one-on-one. Cena and Gunther still for the World Championship. Where that leaves, Rollins and McIntyre, who faced off last year for the World Championship at WrestleMania 40. I have no idea. But Pat McAfee, Travis Scott, the final boss, the 16th World Champion, the Second City Saint, the Visionary, the OTC, the man who calls himself the Tribal Chief, Mommy, the Women's World Champion, Yeet Man himself, the Scottish Psychopath. It is going to be a damn stacked Monday Night Raw, January 6th on Netflix. We'll be here to break it down with you on Tuesday.
Like that clip from the Brand's World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World podcast right here on YouTube.